What is up, my people? Thank you for watching this video. This is Tonte here, Talk with Tonte. Today we're talking football. I'm fresh off watching the Champions League final, Tottenham versus Liverpool. I'm here with my Arsenal shirt, so as you could tell, I am an Arsenal fan. So naturally I wanted Tottenham to lose. But to be honest, I wanted both teams to lose, but obviously we couldn't get that. So I was a supporter of Liverpool during this game. But obviously now the game is over, I can go back to supporting Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal let me down in Europa, but we ain't going to talk about that. Like today I'm just going to give my thoughts on the final. I did watch it. You know, when I talk about football here, I do aim to be as unbiased as possible. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm just talking about the game, right? Naturally, I wanted Spurs to lose. So the fact that they lost means I can do this video with my full chest. You know what I mean? But overall, like if I'm gonna just rate, you know, the final, what I watched, overall I don't think it was a good final at all, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought the quality was like I don't know, man. It was just a bit scrappy. Like I thought both the finals, the Europa final and this final, I thought both of them weren't very good. I thought the quality in both was a bit like both games were lacking, and I thought this one might as well have been in Baku, bro, because it was like, I don't know, man. Like, of course, I wanted Tottenham to lose, but I wanted it to be an entertaining game at least. Let it be 4-3 goals in the last minute, like, you know what I mean, something like that. And it just wasn't nothing. You know, Salah got the penalty 2 minutes in, and early goal, you know, rattled Spurs, and they just never. The whole game, I think Spurs never really did anything too crazy. You know, when you look at the stats, they had 16 shots in the first half. They had like 2 shots and 0 was on target, bro. Like, that's crazy. In the Champions League final, Spurs have no shots on target in the first half. Crazy. You know, the second half they were getting into it, but it didn't really, like, it just wasn't really much quality, you know, on both ends. Or I don't want to say lack of quality, but there was a lack of end product. You know, Spurs just bowled it. Like, Spurs do what Spurs always do, and they just weren't at it, you know. And Kane, like, I knew there was going to be an issue when, you know, Kane hasn't played football for Spurs in like 53 days or something like that. And then he started, I'm sure he rushed back from injury to play in this final. He weren't fit, man. You know, the ball was coming to him, and Kane just, there was nothing. He didn't hold it up well. It wasn't the Kane that you know, we've been seeing. And I'm even wondering, why did Pochettino even play Kane? Like, you could tell Pochettino just played Kane just for the name value. Lucas Moura was the one that brought them into the final with his hat-trick. He benched Moura and played Kane. Kane just wasn't fit, man. He weren't fit. He dropped a 0 out of 10, man. He dropped a 0 out of 10. He was playing like Wilfred Boney, bro. He weren't much. He weren't saying much, you know. The rest of the team, Ali did nothing. Ali, like, nothing. Eriksen didn't have a good game. Like, the whole team was just, you know. And then we talked to Liverpool. Where Liverpool, I mean, they got the first goal, and like, at the end of the day, they won the game. Like, the performance, no one's going to look back on it in 10 years and say, oh, well, you know, they didn't play that well, but they won. You know, and they deserved it, man. If we're going to be honest, if we're talking pure footballing terms, last year they won the Champions League final off merit and lost to a superior Real Madrid side. They came back a year later and won it. I don't think anyone can be mad at that. They've had a great Premier League, and I think they deserve it, man. I thought all the performances were solid. They were professional, and they did what they had to do. You know, they got the goal, and it didn't really seem like they were, they did much. You know, they won 2-0. So Origi, we have to give his respect. I have to respect him. You know, Origi, he got the goals versus Everton. He got the goals versus Barcelona, and he got the goal here, man. You have to respect it, man. Like, Origi, he showed up. You know, when we're looking at Arsenal players, like, some of our big players ain't stepping up like Origi has stepped up, so we have to respect it. Overall, it was just a professional performance. You know, they got the goal and they got the second goal, and that was it. You know, I don't think anyone can really complain about Liverpool or whatever, but it just wasn't a good game. Like, to be honest, I thought it was one of the worst finals in terms of Champions League in my lifetime, at least. You know, I'm looking back to the Juventus AC Milan game, Porto Monaco, 2004, like that, those weren't good. But in terms of the last like 10 years, this definitely been the worst. Definitely been the worst. All English final, you expect it to be a Premier League quality game, and it weren't that, man. The ball was just in the air all the time, bad touches, you know, ball weren't sticking, we weren't seeing real good football like we're used to seeing from Liverpool and that we see from Spurs sometimes. It weren't that quality. Now there were some times like Mane had a I thought Mane was the MVP personally. I thought he was the man of the match personally. I thought he got into good spaces. You know, he showed his elite dribbling. You know, 1v1. You know, he created chances. Salah, other than a goal, I don't think he did much. You know, I'm not gonna say like he had a great game. I didn't think he had a great game, but he got the goal, and that's all that matters. Tottenham, I mean, Son probably, you know, he had a few chances. They were getting into the game at certain points, but it just overall it just weren't really much, man. It just, you know. End of the day, Spurs didn't win. Because that's the one thing we didn't want as Arsenal fans, was us to lose Europa and Spurs to win the Champions League. I don't think I could even support football like that. But Spurs lost, Arsenal lost. Fair enough, man. I probably would have taken that rather than Tottenham winning. So in the grand scheme of things, And Liverpool deserved to win. You know, I would have loved Barcelona and Ajax to be the true final, which it should have been the true final. But, you know, end of the day, like Liverpool, they deserve to be there because it was in the final last year and they've been consistent since then. So it is what it is, man. Like, you know, overall, you know, I did not think it was a good game, but, you know, sometimes football ain't got to be a good game. Like, there's been games where it's like, we've seen so many finals which they haven't been good, or so many games which you had to win but it weren't good. It was a bit scrappy, it was a bit lack of quality, but at the end of the day, you got to win. You got to win, bruv. And Liverpool did that, and we have to give our respects, man. I definitely have to give my respect. So yeah, that's it, man. That's my thoughts of the final. What did you think about it? Let me know your thoughts. If you're Arsenal fans, how did you feel? If you're Tottenham fans, how do you feel? I know you're sweating. I know you feel bad. I know you're crying. But such is life, innit? We have to hold our slaps. North London is still red. But at the end of the day, we ain't going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the game at hand, which is Liverpool versus Spurs. Let me know your thoughts about it. And yeah, man. I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. Enjoy your day. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Comment, like. Let me know your thoughts. And I'm out, people. Enjoy your day. And next season, we roll on. Hopefully Arsenal can do a bit better, but we see where it goes. I'm out.